Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a huge question, maybe the question, how do we actually make life happier?
It's a big one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we all know the usual story, right? That happiness is this thing that happens after you get the big promotion or buy the house.
And that's the fundamental mistake. The sources we looked at are clear. Behavioral science shows happiness isn't luck, and it isn't a destination.
So what is it?
Think of it more like an operating system for your brain. It's a state.
Mhm.
And most importantly, it's a skill you can train with very specific, consistent practice.
A skill. I like that. So let's break that skill down. We've organized this deep dive into 3 layers, basically. First the mind, then the body's chemistry, and finally, how to handle all the noise from the outside world.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's start with the mind, the cognitive layer. Our brains come with this factory default setting, right? Negative bias.
Right. It's an evolutionary thing.
Yeah.
We're just wired to see the threat, to remember the failure much more than the win. It kept our ancestors from being eaten.
But now it just fuels anxiety.
It does. So if your brain's default is to scan for threats, you have to consciously tell it to scan for something else, to scan for joy.
And that's where this 3 good things exercise comes in.
Exactly. Every single night, you write down 3 good things from your day. But here's the most important part. You also have to write down why they happened.
Okay, so why so crucial? It's not just a gratitude list then.
No, it's much more active. It's cognitive restructuring. When you analyze the cause like, I felt good because I solved that hard problem at work, you're training your brain to see patterns.
You're teaching it to find the positive signals.
You're forcing it to.
Yeah.
And the research says if you do that for about 21 days, that new filter starts to become automatic. The negative noise gets quieter.
Okay, so that's the mind. But what about the physical side, the actual chemistry that we can't just think our way out of?
Yeah, absolutely. The physiological layer. We're talking about neurotransmitters, dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. You can't just wait for them to show up. You have to generate them.
Which brings us to movement. The sources say exercise, and we're not talking about training for a marathon here, just 30 minutes, 3 times a week, is less about looks and more about a brain reset.
It is a total reset. In the long term, its effect on mood is actually comparable to some antidepressants. It's that powerful.
And beyond just general exercise, you talk about this idea of flow.
Flow. Yeah. This is that state of complete absorption where time just seems to vanish. It happens when a challenge is perfectly matched to your skill level.
So how do you find that? How do we engineer it?
You schedule it. 1 hour a day for deep work or a deep hobby. And here's the non-negotiable part. You turn off all notifications.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Because in that state of pure focus and control, your brain stops judging you. That little voice asking, am I good enough? Just goes silent. And that is a very high-quality form of happiness.
Okay, so we've handled the internal. Now let's step outside to the environmental layer, because this is where I think a lot of us get tripped up today, the comparison trap.
Oh, it's brutal.
I mean, everyone listening has felt it. You scroll social media for 5 minutes and suddenly feel like your entire life is a failure.
Because you're comparing your behind-the-scenes footage with everyone else's highlight reel. It's a game you can't win.
So what's the actionable advice here?
An information diet. It's simple. No social media for the first hour after you wake up, and none for the last hour before you sleep. Protect your brain when it's most vulnerable.
That makes sense. And the other big environmental factor is connection, relationships.
The biggest one. All the long-term studies point to this. But it's about depth, not quantity. One deep, energy-giving conversation with a friend each week can make a huge difference.
But to have energy for that, you have to protect it.
You have to. You have to set boundaries. Learning to say no to things that drain you isn't selfish. It's essential for keeping your happiness state optimized.
So to recap for everyone listening, it seems to come down to 4 main things. The cognitive practice of 3 good things.
Right. Then physiological activation through exercise and flow.
And finally, environmental control, with an information diet and setting real boundaries.
Exactly. Happiness isn't some prize you win at the end. It's the power you have right now to choose how you filter and process what's happening.
So maybe the deep dive for you starts after this. Ask yourself, tonight, what's one positive signal I'm going to scan for? And this week, what's one boundary I'm finally going to protect? The choice to run a happier operating system, well, it's always yours.